Good evening, everyone. I hope your weekend was relaxed, you relaxed, and it was blessed, okay? The prayer tonight will be offered by the wonderful gentleman from Baltimore County. Good
Thank you
evening.
very much, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome.
Good evening, everyone. Please assume whatever posture you prefer for prayer, meditation, or contemplation. Let us take a moment to consider our gratitude for the many things we have and the many things we can share. When I consider sharing and concern for others, my mind often turns to June 5th, 1968, and Bobby Kennedy, who, as he lay on the floor in the kitchen of the Ambassador Hotel, after being senselessly and brutally shot, dying and clearly aware of that, said these words, "Is everybody else all right?" Let us all use this as the ultimate exemplar of how to be concerned for and care for the well-being of others. Thank you.
Amen. Corin Cole.
Madam Speaker.
Anyone in the back? Pretty clear? Okay. Has everyone recorded their presence? If so, the clerk will take the call. There being 113 members present, the House is now in session. The clerk will read the journal from the previous date.
Annapolis, Maryland, February 24, 2026.
Recognizing the Deputy Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
So much be considered the reading of the journal.
So order petitions, memorials, and other papers. We have a House resolution, and I'm going to recognize a gentleman from Anne Arundel County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The gentle lady from Charles County is actually going to do the honors.
All right, so gentle lady from Charles County.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Speaker and colleagues. Today I rise to recognize and honor the extraordinary service of the 6888th Central Postal Directory Battalion, widely known as 6888. During World War II, more than 800 African-American women and women of color answered the call to serve their country in a time when both racial segregation and gender discrimination limited opportunity. Yet they stepped forward with determination, patriotism, and an unwavering commitment to the mission. In 1945, the 6888 was deployed to Europe, and given what many considered an impossible task, clearing a massive backlog of 1 million of pieces of undelivered mail intended for American service members. Warehouses in England and France were filled floor to ceiling with letters and packages that had gone unsorted for months and even years. The mission of the 6888 was simple but essential: restore the flow of communication between soldiers and their loved ones back home. Under the leadership of Major Charity Adams Early, the battalion worked around the clock in 3 shifts, developing innovative tracking systems and processing tens of thousands of pieces of mail each day. In just a few months, they accomplished what many believed could not be done, eliminating a backlog of more than 17 million pieces of mail and ensuring that soldiers received the letters and packages that connected them to family, home, and hope. Their motto was simple: no mail, low morale. And through their dedication and efficiency, they helped sustain the morale of American troops during one of the most difficult periods in our nation's history. Despite their remarkable success and historic service, the women of the 6888 returned home to a nation that did not fully recognize their contributions. For decades, their story remained largely untold. But history has a way of correcting itself. In recent years, the legacy of the 6888 has finally begun to receive the recognition it deserves, including the awarding of the Congressional Gold Medal by the U.S. Congress. Today, we honor these trailblazers not only for the mission they completed, but for the barriers they broke. They served with courage, discipline, and excellence, opening doors for generations of women and service members who would follow. The story of the 6888 reminds us that patriotism takes many forms, that leadership can emerge in the face of adversity, and that perseverance can change the course of history. On behalf of this body, we thank the women of the 6888 Central Postal Directory Battalion for their groundbreaking service, their resilience, and their enduring legacy. Permission to use the delegate's name?
Permission granted.
Thank you. Today is the third Maryland Commemorative Day honoring this extraordinary group of women. It is work like this that delegates Rogers, myself, and advocates spearheaded as Colonel U.S. Army retired Edna Cummings, family of one 6888 member, Vashti Murphy Matthews, the daughter of Carl B. Murphy Jr., the co-publisher of the Baltimore-based Afro newspaper, which was one of the only local publications to report on them at the time, continues to advocate for and honor. May we continue to tell their story and ensure their contributions are never forgotten. Thank you.
Will the reading clerk please read the resolution in full?
Be it hereby known to all that the House of Delegates of Maryland offers its sincerest congratulations to the women of the 6888 Central Postal Directory Battalion in recognition of your courageous service, steadfast dedication, and transformative contributions during World War II. The entire membership extends best wishes on this memorable occasion and directs this resolution to be presented on this 9th day of March 2026.
He's a photographer. What else do you do? I think do you play in a band? I remember you play in a band. Ah, what do you play? Trombone. Love it. Consent calendar of introductory House Bills number 66. The clerk will read the first bill.
House Bill 1632, Delegate Metzger, House Rules.
Recognizing the majority leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome.
So much be considered the reading of House Bill 1632 through 1642.
Hear no objection. The bills are read the first time and referred to the appropriate committees. The clerk will read the bond initiatives and the committee assignment.
Introductory House Bond Initiatives number 62, March 9, 2026, referred to appropriations. Introductory House Bond Initiatives number 63, March 9, 2026, referred to appropriations. Introductory House Bond Initiatives number 64, March 9, 2026, referred to appropriations. Introductory House Bond Initiatives number 65, March 9, 2026, referred to appropriations.
Message from the Senate, consent calendar number 11, Senate bills introduced in the House. The clerk will read the first bill and committee assignment.
Senate Bill 439, Senator Jackson, Economic Matters.
Recognizing the majority leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome.
So much be considered the reading of Senate Bill 439 and be considered the reading for all the bills on the calendar.
Hear no objection. The bills are read the first time and referred to the appropriate committees. Message from the Senate, consent calendar number 12, Senate bills introduced in the House. The clerk will read the first bill and committee assignment.
Senate Bill 69, Senator Kagan, Government, Labor, and Elections.
Recognizing the majority leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome.
So much be considered the reading of Senate Bill 69 be considered reading for all the bills on the calendar.
Hear no objection. The bills are read the first time and referred to the appropriate committees. That ends the work of the desk. Delegation announcements. All right. Caucus announcements. Recognizing the chair of the Maryland of the Democratic Caucus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, the House Democratic Caucus will be meeting tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. in room 150. Thank you.
Recognizing the Republican Caucus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Republican
Thank you.
Caucus will be meeting tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. in room 145.
Thank you. Any other caucus announcement? Recognizing the chair of the Jewish Caucus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just a reminder to members, tomorrow is our first high school shadow day. If you have signed up to take a shadow, we're very excited. We have 50 students joining us tomorrow, and you will be asked to meet your shadow or have a staff person meet your shadow outside the chamber at 10:30 tomorrow. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome. Recognizing the chair of the Muslim Caucus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Permission to say delegates' names.
Permission granted.
Colleagues, on Wednesday, March the 11th, the Maryland Legislative Muslim Caucus will be hosting, along with the Women's Caucus, will be sharing a great evening of an iftar dinner. And we want to also give thanks as far as on behalf of myself, Delegate Sarah Woollock, and Delegate Kaylee Young, and I appreciate Delegate Dana Jones as far as for making this thing happen for us. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, I'm sorry, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock on Wednesday. Where?
Sorry. I should have had the flyer in front of me. In room 170.
Okay, room 170 on
170
Wednesday
in the House building. Thank you.
at 7 o'clock. Recognizing the Rural Caucus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Rural Caucus will be meeting tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. via Zoom.
Recognizing the chair of the Women's Caucus.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Permission to use delegates' names?
Permission granted.
Thank you. Women's Caucus members, our Elections Nominating Committee, chaired by Chair Patterson, and who also named Delegate Pasteur, Delegate Ziegler, Delegate Lehman, Delegate Turner, and Delegate Tavares. They are administering the Women's Caucus election, which has opened and begun. Voting has begun. Tonight, Women's Caucus members can vote in person tonight in room 150 until 9:30 p.m. in the House Office Building. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 9:30 to 5, you can vote in person in room 144 of the Senate building. And Friday, the 13th, from 9:30 to 4:30 p.m., you can vote in person in the Women's Caucus office, again, room 144 of the Senate building. No worries if you didn't take notes. It will be in an email in your inbox. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome. Thank you. Recognizing the chair of the LGBTQ+ Caucus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, the Maryland Legislative LGBTQ+ Caucus is meeting tomorrow morning bright and early at 8 a.m. Virtually, please sign on. We will have Senator Chris Van Hollen as well as Attorney General Anthony Brown on the call. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Recognizing the chair of the AAPI Caucus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The
You're welcome.
AAPI Caucus will have a short voting session tomorrow morning at 8:30 by Zoom. Please be lookout on for the email. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other caucus announcements? All right, seeing none, we're going now to have a very special moment for Women's History Month, which will be read by and presented by the wonderful lady from Baltimore County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome.
Colleagues, I was born in Ohio and went to college in Pennsylvania. But when I graduated, I came to Maryland, seeking opportunity, community, and a place to call home. And over the years, I've come to believe that there's something special about Maryland that brings out the best in people. We are a welcoming state, unafraid of people who are different from us, or ideas we have yet to explore. This belief is rooted not in just what I've experienced personally, but in stories of women who chose this state, women who moved here, lived here, and quietly changed it forever. Take Mamie Todd, born in Virginia and the granddaughter of an enslaved person. She moved to Maryland and became a pioneering social worker, educator, and civil rights activist. In her role as a caseworker for Baltimore's Department of Welfare, she was a tireless advocate for children. Senator Barbara Mikulski called her a national legend in child protection. It's her work that led to the founding of Maryland's Child Protective Services Agency. Or consider Rachel Carson. Born in Pennsylvania, she came to Maryland to work for what was then the U.S. Bureau of Fisheries. Walking along our shores, she saw what many others ignored, fragile ecosystems at risk. She turned that insight into action, writing Silent Spring and igniting the modern environmental movement. Her courage to speak truth to power helped reshape national policy and protect the natural world we depend on. Then there's Ann Tyler, born in Minnesota and raised in North Carolina. This Pulitzer Prize-winning author made Baltimore her home and her inspiration. Through her novels, she captured the rhythms and relationships of everyday life in the city and beyond. Her stories remind us that ordinary people, families, neighbors, communities, carry extraordinary depth and humanity. Take Dr. Prasanna Nair. Originally from India, she moved here in 1960 and became a leader in pediatric medicine. As director of the Community Pediatric Center at the University of Maryland, she saw to it that children from low-income families could receive health care. And her research into infants born to HIV-positive mothers was groundbreaking. She served Maryland with distinction for more than 4 decades. And we can't forget Gloria Lala, a career educator who was born in South Carolina and became a longtime resident of Prince George's County. In the 1970s, she worked with elected officials and the NAACP to integrate schools in that county. Later, she went on to be one of those elected officials, first as a delegate and then as a senator. And in 2007, she was appointed by Governor O'Malley to be Maryland's Secretary of Aging. Today, she continues to use her voice in Annapolis. In fact, I saw her in the hallways just last week. What ties all these women together, from scientists to writers, educators to community builders, is that Maryland became their stage. Maryland brought out their courage, their creativity, and their commitment to serving others. They didn't seek recognition. They didn't seek personal gain. They simply pursued what was right, what was needed, and what was possible. But of course, I stand here today surrounded by women who may not have been born in Maryland, but are making history here every day. Madam Speaker, permission to use many delegates' names?
Permission granted.
Thank you. And would these delegates please stand and remain standing as I announce this roll call? We have the state of California to thank for Delegate Melissa Wells. We have Colorado to thank for Delegate Susan McComas. We have Delaware to thank for Delegate Latoya Nanangolo. We have Illinois to thank for Delegate Charlotte Crutchfield. We have Indiana to thank for Delegate Robin Lewis. We have Massachusetts to thank for Delegates Laura Charkoudian and Pam Gazzone. We have Michigan to thank for Delegate Jennifer White Holland. We have New Jersey to thank for Delegate Jamila Woods. We have New York to thank for Delegates Pam Queen, Denny Taveras, Jen Terrassa, Sarah Wallach, and Natalie Ziegler. We have North Carolina to thank for Delegate Kim Ross, who said eloquently, "I grew up in North Carolina, but I became a grown-up in Maryland." We have Ohio to thank for Delegate Teresa Riley and me. And we have Pennsylvania to thank for Delegates Jessica Feldmark, Linda Foley, Ann Healy, Terry Hill, and Julie Polokovich-Carr. We have Tennessee to thank for Delegate Michelle Guyton. We have Virginia to thank for Delegates Diana Fennell, Edith Patterson, Emily Shetty, and Stephanie Smith. And all of these delegates list our neighbor Washington, D.C. as their place of birth. Delegates Tiffany Alston, Heather Bagnell, Sandy Bartlett, Regina Boyce, Andrea Harrison, Ann Kaiser, April Miller, Bernice Miracle North, Kim Taylor, Veronica Turner, Chris Valderrama, and Nicole Williams. Woo! And who knew that the country of Bermuda gave us the gift of Delegate Leslie Lopez? Or Jamaica, the gift of Delegate Janelle Wilkins. Thank you, Mexico, for the Delegate Teresa Warman. And China for Delegate Lily Chi. And of course, we have the Dominican Republic to thank for our very own island girl, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you.
When I started my research, I had no idea the list would be so long.
This was great.
Our state is stronger because of the contributions of these women who are now and forever Marylanders. Thank you.
Good job. Good job. Thank you. That was great. Personal guest announcements, recognizing the amazing chair of Ways and Means.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, I would like you to join me in recognizing special guests that we have in the gallery. The Junior League of Annapolis, Inc. is an organization of women whose mission is to advance women's leadership for meaningful community impact. Congratulations to the Junior League of Annapolis on their Advocacy Day and for their continued leadership in promoting impactful volunteerism and leadership. Please rise if you're here from Junior League of Annapolis, and colleagues, please join me in welcoming them.
Welcome.
Madam Speaker.
Yes, recognizing the gentleman from Southern Maryland.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, this is just a reminder, tomorrow is the annual Foster Youth in Annapolis Day in partnership with the Department of Human Services. I would ask that the delegates who are participating, please pick up your youth at 12 p.m. in room 180. If you can, please come yourself. I know that we're busy, but this is a time for them to the youth to spend time directly with you. There's an agenda and interaction guidelines should have already been sent out to each of the members. If not, please reach out to me. Again, I want to thank everyone for helping make this a meaningful experience for these children. Thank you very much.
Welcome. And thank you all for participating tomorrow. Recognizing the delegate from Anne Arundel County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. After a brief hiatus, the Legislative Basketball Caucus will reconvene tonight at 8:45 at St. Mary's High School. That's Legislative Basketball Caucus tonight at 8:45. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome. Recognizing the delegate from Baltimore County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Permission to use delegates' names.
Granted.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Well, tonight was District 10 night in Annapolis, and on behalf of Delegate N. Scott Phillips, Delegate Adrian Jones, and myself, please join me, colleagues, in welcoming our District 10 constituents who are in the gallery. If they could please stand and be recognized. We had a wonderful time of food and fun and fellowship.
Welcome.
Please all stand. We are so glad to have you all here. They're in both galleries, in the front and the rear gallery. And again, thank you to all of our colleagues who joined us. We had a fantastic time. And so again, we are grateful that they trekked their way from District 10. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome and welcome. Recognizing the gentleman from the Eastern Shore.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Tonight was District 36 night. We had a great event here in Annapolis, and there may be some still up in the gallery. I'm not sure, but I want to thank them for being here, and all of those who were from the General Assembly that came and visited. Thank you as well. It was a great evening. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome. Recognizing the other delegate from the Eastern Shore.
Hey, thank you, Madam Speaker. So in the back gallery from the 1st Congressional District, represented by Congressman Andy Harris, my constituent, who represents the beautiful Eastern Shore, Hartford County, parts of Baltimore County. I have Assistant Chief of Staff Mark Brown and Eastern Shore Liaison Mike Detmer. Welcome.
Recognizing the delegate from Montgomery County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome.
In the gallery tonight, we are honored to be joined by members of the American Association of State, County, and Municipal Employees. AFSCME Maryland Council 3 is the largest union representing state employees and proudly represents more than 55,000 public sector workers serving at every level of government and in every jurisdiction across Maryland. Their members work in our state and local agencies, public schools, county libraries, and higher education and cultural institutions. Probably see them in their green pretty regularly, but every day when they're not wearing their green, but sometimes when they are, they perform the essential work that keeps our communities running, ensuring our water is clean and safe to drink, safely transporting our children to school, protecting public health and safety, and so much more. Especially this winter, they were on the front line of keeping our roads clear. We thank them for their service, their dedication, and their steadfast commitment to the people of our state, and please join me in welcoming them.
Thank you for the work you do for our state. We really appreciate you. You're always welcome in the House. Any other? Recognizing the delegate from Montgomery County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And permission to use delegates' names?
Permission granted.
Please, everybody, tonight we had District 16 night, and please join Delegates Wallach and Delegate Corman in welcoming our District 16 residents that are still left with us in the gallery.
Welcome. Recognizing the delegate from Baltimore County who was very patient.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, please join me welcoming District 8 constituents in the gallery, Kiran Baral, Raksha Bania, and Janendra Chilwal. Thank you.
Welcome. Any other personal or guest announcements? All right, seeing none. What do we do today? All right, come on, let's give it up for the pages.
All right, come on down, you sunshines. Wow, we got a big group. It's 9 of y'all today. Woo! You delegates gonna have a good time this week because y'all got plenty of help. Okay, you know the drill. I then taught ya. And you ready? I can't hear you. Okay, here we go. Number 1, Morgan Castro, Aunt, Calvert County, District 29C, Patuxent High School, Paula, Circles, Texfarino, Charles County, District 28, North Point High School of Science and Technology, Michelle Fadella, Anne Arundel County, District 31, Chesapeake High School, Orja Manute, Montgomery County, District 39, Richard Montgomery High School, Jacobs Mwangi, Baltimore County, District 8, Kenwood High School. And here we go. Faith Yansanda, Inwa, Washington County, District 2B, North Hagerstown High School, Jackson Stevenson, Howard County, District 12A, Guilford Park High School, Mahama Hua, Wicomico County, District 37A, Mardella High School, and finally, Michael Witherspoon, Prince George's County, District 37A, Academy of Health Science at PGCC. I got through this. Y'all are so wonderful, and thank all of y'all. It's going to be a busy week, and I want you to enjoy yourself tonight because you're going to be busy next week. And, Madam Speaker, I am not going to say it today, but I'll wait till next week. Now, y'all have a good night. Thank you. Sunshine.
Thank you for being with us. We appreciate you. Quorum call.
Madam Speaker.
Everyone from the back? In? Yep. Has everyone recorded their presence? The clerk will take the call. There being 112 members present, the House is still in session. Recognizing the Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome.
I move that the House stands adjourned until Tuesday, March 10th at 10 o'clock a.m., legislative date February 26th.
Have a blessed evening, everyone.